Yeah, pulled me lorry sheet over that trailer load of hay. But I mean, it's probably worthless anyway. But they'll just stop it spoiling on that front edge when it, you know how it goes. It goes like weathered if it gets rain falling on it occasionally. So it might just save it. There's not a very big load of hay there, and if all that whole front edge is spoilt, then that's half the load gone. Anyway, yeah, we got back last night and this pipe off this water trough had blown off. There was water blowing from that tap post into the cattle pen, and I think it had been running for quite a while, because I noticed the water coming halfway up the drive because it was running down the drive. So this whole yard was just flooded, and the cattle pen, because the concrete's dead level, right back up to this end, there was like 2 inches of water in the whole passageway, and obviously what was left of the silage was all underwater, and it was, you know, because it was water from the passageway, it was all like basically slurry. So I had to chuck away all that, what silage was left, and empty my spreader. The spreader was still full from the other day, so I went down the field here and just chucked what was in the spreader out. I probably made a right mess on the field down there out of desperation, and then I've just spent half an hour scraping, or trying to scrape all the water out of this passageway, put a new bale in. So that was last night's fun. It's always something, isn't there? You go out for the afternoon and come back with something. Still, at least the cattle weren't out. That was probably worse. Yeah, it looks like I've made a bit of a mess down the field. But anyway, not to worry. So, it's a bit wet today, and then it's supposed to be nice at the weekend, so I'm hoping we'll get something done. That spreader's now full again. Well, it was full of water, but I'm hoping most of the water's drained out of the spreader and has gone down into that pit behind our premises. So that was my plan anyway. So yeah. Anyway, these things happen, don't they? There was no real reason for it popping off. It looked like it just popped off the trough. So there you are. Good job we're not on a meter. Oh, we are on a meter. Happy days. Yeah, so we had a bit of progress on the tedder yesterday. Me and Mark. Well, mostly Mark. So we had this shaft out. These UJs aren't actually too bad. So we think the problem is there's a bearing there, and there's a bearing there. One of them was okay. One of them was completely destroyed. And then so it was these 2 bearings, housings that are empty. Basically, there was 2 good bearings, 2 knackered bearings, and we put the 2 good ones in that piece, which is ready to go back on. And then we've ordered some new bearings, which will go on the end, this end shaft, which is off the outer rotor. So like that. Yeah, if there's 3 rotors each side, that's like the one outside the middle 2, and then the other 2 end ones are on this end shaft. Anyway, it's all a bit confusing, but basically there's just bearings. These shafts that run inside the frame are knackered, and we think because the shafts are rattling around, that's why. that's why this cog is rattling around, which is causing the teeth to slip, which is causing the tedder to go out of sync. So, well, if it is as simple as that, it'll be great. Just a case of getting it all apart and changing the bearings. I think while we're doing, I've ordered plenty of bearings. I'll strip down the other side as well. So yeah, that bar that's in the workshop, which is this section here, goes back on there and goes to this rotor. That's ready to go back on now because it's got two decent bearings in it. Tighten them all up. Some of them were spinning a bit on the shaft, so we had to just Mark punched the shaft a bit to stop the bearings from spinning on the shaft. Yeah, these plates are a pain to get undone, and there's quite a lot of wear in them. Where the tedder folds up and down. There's quite a lot of wear in them, but I mean you'd probably be talking silly money replacing them. So yeah, it's good to get a bit of progress done, because these winter jobs can quite often get left, can't they? And then you get to, by the time you come to use the machine again, you've forgotten what was wrong with it. So it's better to get them out of the way, isn't it? And then get the jobs done and put them away, and then they're ready to go in the spring. These are all hungry. They're getting through some silage at the moment. They aren't half getting through it. They're eating they're eating a bale a day, that bunch. Which is odd because they're getting quite a lot of corn as well. You know, I'm giving them more corn than normal. These sucklers, there's a chicken. These sucklers aren't getting any corn, they're all fat. And they're hardly eating any silage, so. Yeah, I'm going to go and empty my spreader again. This passage wants scraping out and they want another bale. So I'm going to do that now. The spreader hopefully has drained what water was in it away, so I'll go and chuck it out. See how much mess we made, and then these are going to need another bale. Dry field at home, just getting a fair coating. It's not even really dry, I made a bit of a mess. Got to put it somewhere, haven't you? Yeah, just it's not a very big patch of ground, but it's taking two half spreader load. And then I'm going to have a think about where I'm going to put it next. Got plenty of ground but just nothing dry. I don't really want to tip it up, I've got piles everywhere as it is. But, yeah, it's about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I've just, I don't know if you can see this light, just caught some chickens. We're going to start clearing this shed out. No, it's too dark. We're clearing the shed out. The next flock of pullets, they're due to go, so I've got someone who comes to rehome them. So she usually comes early in the morning on a weekend. So she's just been and took 80 out of this shed. So yeah, I'll be glad to get it cleared out and washed out, really, because this shed's been nothing but bloody problems. They never really did very well, this flock. It's one of the worst flocks we've ever had. So I said to her, look, whenever you're ready you can start taking them, because we've not got new hens coming till November, but I wanted to give the shed a bit of a rest and try and flush some of the mites out of it. So the longer it has, the better really. And then it'll land that, depending on whether the pullets turn up in time, they'll basically be coming into lay the week before Christmas, which we're always the egg job always goes mad the week before Christmas, because obviously everyone buys loads of food, don't they? And then the week after Christmas you don't sell any eggs. So it could, if they come a week or two late, it'll end up that we won't have any eggs from this shed for Christmas, and they'll start laying straight after Christmas when we don't want them. Or they'll turn up on time and we might have, some small eggs to get rid of. So we'll see. In the past, I normally, if they're close to coming into lay before, middle of December, I usually knock them back, and instead of having them in November, I'll have them in January. But that's a big gap to leave, because it means hanging on to your previous flock for an extra 2 or 3 months sometimes, because you can't always get them when you want them in January. So these hens are old enough. I wanted to try and get them earlier, but November was the earliest I could get them, so I thought, blow it, I'm just gonna go ahead, and I'm almost definitely going to be stuck with a load of eggs in January, but you never know, do you? You can't really write these things. So that's what I'm doing anyway. So anyway, 80 have gone, and she's coming for the rest next weekend. I don't know how many will be left, but she's got, I mean, they started off with, there was less than there should have been. There was only 400 odd when we started, but there's definitely a lot less than that now, because they've been free ranging, and we lost a lot of them, and I think the foxes had a lot of them, so we'll see. They've been laying very consistently for weeks and weeks and weeks, but if you go off the egg numbers, there's about 220 or 30 eggs a day. If they're laying at 70%, you're still probably below 300. But well, I don't know. You can't try and count and work these things out, because whatever you try and work out is always wrong. So we'll see. Right, I'm gonna get back to my eggs now. Get great.